You go.
Hi everyone. My name is John. This is my partner Mark. We are John Green Sox.
And where are we?
We're in a John Crazy Sox.
But where are we?
We're in Vancouver. Because we're down for the state department.
Right, we're in Vancouver, in British Columbia, with the U.S. State Department, right?
Right.
And we were going to talk about our trip here, but something more important has come up. And what are we going to talk about?
I talk about Special Olympics.
Special Olympics, right? Because you may have heard the federal budget proposed by the administration cuts funding for the Special Olympics, totally eliminates it. And this is something pretty important to you, isn't it?
Right.
What do you think about Special Olympics? How do you feel about Special Olympics?
I feel Special Olympics.
What do you say about Special Olympics?
I am Special Olympic athlete.
Right? You love the Special Olympics.
I love Special Olympics. I am Special Olympic athlete.
Right? What sports do you play?
I play basketball. I play track and field. I play soccer and snowshoeing.
And you used to do other sports too, right?
Right.
You did what? Bowling and floor hockey, right?
I used to.
How old were you when you started playing soccer?
When I 8.
You were 8 years old. How old are you now?
I'm 23.
Right? You like Special Olympics?
I do. I love Special Olympics.
You work hard at it?
I do.
Right? So, here are some of the things it means to you, right? Just take the snowshoeing you do, right?
Okay.
What's the name of your team?
Hunter Blue Devils.
Right? When do you start practice?
In the summertime. We train.
And yet, you don't have a race until the end of January.
Right.
So you train from the summer till January.
Right.
That's pretty impressive, right? Have you learned a lot of things in the Special Olympics?
I did.
Like what? Teamwork?
Teamwork and
Hard work?
Teamwork, hard work, and
discipline, right? Now, let me ask you something. Do you win every race?
No.
No. Do you lose some?
Yes.
Do you win some?
Yes.
And Special Olympics teaches you how to compete and how to overcome that, right?
Right.
Has Special Olympics given you some confidence? Helped you be better about yourself?
Yes, I am.
Right. So let me ask you this. If you never played Special Olympics, do you think there'd still be a John's Crazy Sox? Or was Special Olympics so important that it helped put you in a position to open John's Crazy Sox?
I think it's an organization of Special Olympics and John Crazy Sox.
I think it made it possible.
I
right?
make it possible.
So now you're a pretty strong believer in the Special Olympics, aren't you?
Right.
Right. And you give back?
I give it back all the earning to a Special Olympics.
So how do you give back? How did you start by giving back? What do you pledge?
I pledge that 5% all the earnings to Special Olympics.
5% of the earnings from John's Crazy Sox go to the Special Olympics, right?
Right.
What else? What else raises money for the Special Olympics that you said?
I'm fundraising like pole plunge.
Well, before the pole plunge, you do polar plunge socks.
Yeah.
What other socks?
Comac.
The shark socks, right?
Shark socks.
And those raise money for the Special Olympics, right? So you know how much money John's Crazy Sox has raised and donated to the Special Olympics? Almost $100,000. This young man, has raised $100,000 for the Special Olympics.
Right.
Plus, you do other things to help raise money for the Special Olympics, right?
I do.
What else do you do? Well, you jump in freezing water, right?
I did.
What do we call that?
A polar plunge.
A polar plunge. So not only do you raise $100,000, you do a polar plunge every year.
I did.
That's pretty wild, huh?
And a plus,
right?
plus creating a better Olympics.
Right?
We down to Washington D.C. because we down for a national better Olympics.
Right? And you've gone up to Capitol Hill to speak with members of Congress to advocate for the Special Olympics, right?
Right.
And you do special events with the Special Olympics, right?
I do.
Right? We went to Omaha to speak at a unified Special Olympics Day,
Right.
right? You were just at a school out on Long Island with the Special Olympics.
And then I could do it here tomorrow.
Tomorrow, we're meeting with the British Columbia Special Olympics.
Right.
You're like an emissary for the Special Olympics,
Right.
right? So let me get this straight. You, how old are you? You're 23 years old. Come here, buddy. You're 23 years old. You've been a Special Olympic athlete since you've been 8, right?
Yeah.
You participate. You got a wall full of medals, right?
Plus.
Right?
More about better Olympics.
Yeah.
I am the athlete conference.
Oh, and you're in the Athlete Congress in New York, right? You're a leader. You're advising the leadership,
I did.
right? And
I
you work
did.
very hard at that. So you've been an athlete, a Special Olympic athlete since you've been age 8. You compete all the time in the Special Olympics, right?
Right.
And you love that, don't you?
I do all the time.
Right? You started a business as an example of what a Special Olympic athlete could do. You've raised almost $100,000. Imagine that. You know, there's a story. There's a story from the Gospels about how these people, these rich people, were making a big deal out of giving money to the temple. And then there was this lady, this poor lady, and she only gave a little amount. But that meant so much because she was giving everything she could. Are you a rich man? I know, pal, you're not a rich man. Because if you are, you'd be holding out on me. And yet you have raised $100,000 to the Special Olympics. You've done that.
I did. And look, listen, I put it to him and thinking about cut of fighting. Yeah,
Right. I know. You're upset about that, aren't you?
I am.
Because you're an athlete. You know the difference it makes. You raise money. You do the polar plunge,
I do all that.
right? You jump in cold water to raise freezing water to raise money for the Special Olympics.
Right.
Special Olympics.
I clear my company.
Right.
I'm sorry, Green Sock.
Right? And yet, here we find out they want to cut $18 million. Now, that may sound like a lot of money. But you know what? That's less than 0.5% of the federal budget. It's like pocket change to them. Does that make you upset? So we got to stand up for this. This is not Democrat, Republican thing. This is standing up. Special Olympics is not a left-wing or a right-wing organization. Special Olympics help make it possible for you to start and run your own business. It helped make it possible for some of your teammates and our colleagues to do a great job, right? Like Liam and Andrew and Big John. Big John, the other John S., who plays floor hockey,
Yes.
right? Does it make sense to cut that? Does it make sense to cut money from the Special Olympics, or should you give more money to the Special Olympics? What do you think? Do you want to give them less money or more money?
More money.
More money. Do they deserve it?
Yes.
Does the Special Olympics do a lot of good? Do you want people to support the Special Olympics?
And right, and by the way, what about a different disabilities?
Right? Special Olympics shows what people with different abilities can do. It's more than just awareness, it's acceptance. That's pretty important, huh?
Right.
So here's what people can do. Go out and make sure that everyone knows about this cut in the budget. Speak to your representative. Call them up. Write them letters. Send them emails. It's easy to do. Say, support the Special Olympics. It's less than 0.5% of the federal budget. The Special Olympics was not asking for more money. They were not asking for an increase for inflation. They were making do with what they had. And it was affecting 272,000 athletes. People like you
Right.
and your teammates, right? That's a terrible thing. Do you love the Special Olympics?
I do. I love Special Olympics.
And if this young man can raise that much money and jump in freezing water, the least our representatives can do.
Hold on, Dad.
Go ahead.
Hold on. And my point to my point to me, I bet Olympics. I bet Olympics. I really look at me right now, big sexy, and
Your nickname is Big Sexy.
big sexy, and I know what I have disability here, people. I have Down syndrome. Down syndrome never hold me back.
Right? And so if you do so much, how could we cut funding for this? Right?
Right.
So we normally come here, we talk about lots of different things. We talk about John's crazy socks, but this whole session tonight has been dedicated to the Special Olympics. You're doing a good thing, son. And we need people to go out and support the Special Olympics for athletes like John and Liam and Andrew and Big John and all the other people we know who have benefited so much. It benefits so many people. How can we possibly cut that funding? Okay? You feel better now? You speak your piece? Anything else you want to say? You want to say go Special Olympics? Okay. You want to say goodnight?
Good night.
You're being quiet all of a sudden, huh? Give me
A little
hug.
bit.
Give me a hug. Pal. All right. So, folks, we're asking you to spread the word. Stand up. It's not about name calling. It's about making your voice heard. Go out, contact your representatives. Tell them how important the Special Olympics is. Tell them about the difference it makes in people's lives. And ask your representatives to support the Special Olympics. Sound good?
Okay.
All right. Say good night, John.
I never.
Good night, folks.